Good afternoon or good evening. I don't know which it is at the moment, but well done, everyone. We've made it to the end of the day, and look, things are looking good. So it's great to be here, and thanks again for all that. I'm going to do a thank you after I do this presentation. So firstly, there's 60 odd people still online, which is fantastic. So we're going to get down to the prizes. So I'm just going to start the presentation. Obviously, the first prize we're going to kind of deliver today is one that is kind of highly prestigious, and it's one that's worthy to note. So the Robert Brown Early Stage Investigator Award is one that is obviously given to an early stage investigator that's showing obviously becoming a leader in the field. This year was extremely difficult to choose between the applicants. The candidates were judged not only on their talks, but they were clear, high, significant quality, but on their application and their career prospects and their career record to date. So the panel recognized both of these kind of attributes, the record promise that the both people had in yesterday's session, and that they will lead to future leaders in the field. So on balance, though, the committee felt that this is the announcement that George Bullock is awarded this year's Robert Brown Award. And well done to George Bullock from the University of Sheffield on the mechanisms of soft tissue toxicity in medicated-related osteonecrosis of the jaw. So well done, and you receive a prize of £250 and a certificate. So this will all be sent to you in due course. So very well done. Kenny Mann has been recognised as a highly commended, and obviously will receive a certificate also. So well done to you also. So the next prize that is in up for grabs, as they say, is the best first place for best oral presentation. And obviously this was quite hard to judge, but I've taken on numerous feedback from all the different sessions and from some of the organising committee. And this year's best oral presentation is going to James Armstrong from Imperial College London on engineering osteochondral tissue gradients. So very well done to you, and you will receive a £150 voucher. So it's a nice little prize for the end of the day. Then moving on, there was always a second place. So we have a second place for best oral presentation, and obviously this was another talk that we thought was highly commendable in terms of what it delivered during the day. And this is going to go to Sam Maxon from the University of Manchester on a 3D printed model of the human invertible disc. So very well done to you also, and thanks for giving a great talk. Obviously this year we obviously tried to do the turbo talks, and we did very well, and everyone did really well in giving them, and it's a great thing to do. A little bit more difficult online, as we've seen, but it worked really, really well. So we have prizes for the best turbo talk, and the first place for the best turbo talk presentation this year is going to go to, I'm going to try and pronounce all these names, Paola Sanju Alberti from the University of Nottingham on 3D printing of conductive extracellular matrix structures towards cardiac tissue engineering. Very well done to you, and well done for your great talk. The next prize in the series of prizes is a second prize for the best turbo talk presentation, and just note that I should have mentioned this, the first place turbo talk will get £150 as a voucher, in case I missed that. And I should have said the second place best oral presentation will get £75. And likewise, the second place best turbo talk presentation will get a £75 voucher, and that second place presentation, best turbo talk presentation, goes to Roxana Sava from the University of Manchester on developing hydrogel assisted combination therapy for brain repair following ischemic stroke. So very well done to both of you for your really, really good contributions. Well done, and they were great. Obviously, we had a large cohort of posters as well, and these were also judged by the committee, and we looked at a number of ones that were kind of recommended by the committee. So the first prize, again, for the first place for best poster this year is going to go to And as I mentioned already, you will get a £150 voucher for your best first place. And this is going to Roxana Remer, I'm really bad at pronouncing these names, University of Southampton, self-assembling nanoclays with 3D micropatterning of BMP2 for bone tissue regeneration. So very well done to you. And again, we have a second place, best poster presentation, and this is going to go to Sarah Memarapour Hobby from the University of Sheffield, evaluation of native nerve-derived extracellular matrix for peripheral nerve regeneration, and you'll get a £70 voucher, so £75 voucher as well. So that's for all the second places. So thank you once again for all your contributions. And that is the end of the oh, there's one final one I nearly forgot. And this is probably the one that you're all wondering, who won the best, the table quiz last night. So the table quiz winner is my next one. Can I put back on the slides for 1 second? I've got the table quiz winner on the slides as well. So this is a table quiz winner. He is going to, it's like a drum roll here. It is another hard name, McGill from the University of Manchester. And you will get a £50 voucher for your excellent answers to all the questions. We were very surprised how well you did. So well done to you for that. So that's the end of the presentation, and thank you again. So I'm gonna have to start off my thank yous. So obviously this whole thing would not be possible, and I hope you've enjoyed the last 2 days, but I'd like to thank the local organizing committee and the TCES committee for their help for putting together this kind of varied and topical program, for chairing sessions. I'd like to thank Sarah, Jennifer, Nick, Vanessa, Elaine, and James for their controlled manner in dealing with some technical issues along the way, but doing a great job in chairing all the sessions and making sure that they were very well dealt with during the whole process. We obviously are significantly grateful to our sponsors for the generous funding and active participation in the sessions and contribution to all the talks. And obviously, I'd like to kind of just say to PepperTech, they obviously wanted to sponsor some prizes, so they have contributed to the prizes as well. And thank you for that. I want to give a very special thank you to our speakers for their contributions and innovations, and especially our invited keynote speakers. And I want to kind of highlight Fergal O'Brien, Corrine Colum, Molly Stevens, Brendan Harley, Lesbeth Grease, Christine Horace, and Jonathan Fallonfield as all our 7 keynotes that they did a fantastic job in delivering all of those, and it was really, really remarkable. I'd like to thank all the attendees. We had 60 odd posters, as I mentioned. We had 40 talks, that's including oral and standard presentations. Without you, this would not have been a vibrant kind of interactive 2-day conference. So really thank you for that. It's a credit to you all for all the great work you've done. Well done. And then finally, but not least, a final special thanks to our core organizational team here: Diane Reed, Emily Martin, Katrina Sardekis, Eddie Duberg, Laura Smith, Karen Blochlitz, Billy Rosendale from the University of Edinburgh School of Engineering. Without those hard work, this would not have happened. And our strong organizational IT team. This was all down to them. And thank you so much for being kind of here with me during this. Finally, I hope to see you in the next TCES conference. So thank you very much for your contributions over the last number of days. It was great. I'm now going to bring on stage Sarah and Mark, so to close the final conference. So I'll leave it over to you. Thank you.
Anthony, thank you very much indeed. I'd just like to add my thanks and thoughts to all the group involved with organising in the meeting this year. I don't know if any of you were at the AGM earlier, or some of you were, and we just reflected on, as everyone's done in these sort of positions, what a strange year it's been. But to be able to get something on and something happening and people obviously engaging in the way they have is really, really powerful. In 2014, the meeting in 2014 was in Newcastle. And it was nice to hear Anthony refer to from the previous speaker, from his previous presentation about the Robert Brown Prize. Robert was the president of the society before me. Unfortunately, got taken from us much before his time, and was the person who kind of had been involved in the society since the very beginning. So it's really good to see the Robert Brown Prize has a lot of resonance for a lot of us on the committee. We've had two presidents actually, previous presidents who died prematurely, and so it's great to see those recognised. So I'm really pleased to see that. So in 2014, Newcastle, Robert Brown handed over the presidency to me, and I've done it for 7 years now. Just trying to work out, for 7 years. And actually, I've been president for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it should have been for 7 conferences. It's actually been for 6 because of last year. And obviously, this year has been the strangest year that we might ever imagine. So it is very strange to be saying these few words when the year has been like it is and the configuration of the conference is like it is. You may have missed the AGM. If you did miss the AGM at lunch, early this morning, you would have heard that this is my last official duty as president of the Tissue and Cell Engineering Society. I'm standing down after 7 years. It's been a real privilege to be the leader of the society. For those of you who missed what I said earlier, I think over those years, every president has a sort of a project or projects which kind of they want to get done. And for me, it was really about some, perhaps a bit prosaic to some, but kind of making sure that the society existed into the future. So that was making sure that any kind of legal or contractual things were sorted, finances, membership, the future of the website, all those kind of things. And I think it's an anecdote many of you have heard me say before, and I'm going to say it again. Before this, I was the treasurer. And my predecessor as the treasurer, Charlie Archer, who was probably well known to you from his work in Cardiff University, or some of you anyway, did his handover meeting in a pub by Euston Station to me with a pile of beer-stained paper in a Tesco carrier bag. And I think I probably realised then that we probably needed to update ourselves and move forward a bit. Thanks to the brilliant committee I work with, that's happened. You heard, if you were at the AGM this morning, but if you want, you'll see even on the website, etc. And if you go back and listen to the AGM, all the work that has been done around the membership and all the things we try to offer to people, because at the end of the day, we're a society which is about people. I think that's the most important thing about what we do. The very first conference I went to was in Glasgow of this one in 2001, I think it was. I was only 5 at the time. And I remember that the overwhelming feeling was of friendliness, of helpfulness. TCS got a bit of a reputation of like a bit of a party, which suited me anyway. And for being people who wanted to get on together and wanted to achieve things. I think the field that we're all part of has matured and changed so much. I never would have thought in 2001 people were going to be 3D printing tissues, for example. We never would have thought that the stem cell world would have moved on quite as it has. So the changes have been dramatic. I would say for us who work in it, it's never been easy, actually. Early on, particularly, it was a lot of skepticism. You're never going to recreate human tissues. You're never going to be able to do anything with them. You'll never grow enough. You never do this, you never do that. Now, some of those issues still remain, of course. But I think the maturity of the society attests to the fact that the area really has moved on. And as I say, for me, things like 3D printing have just completely taken things onto a different level. And so thank you to all the current committee and all the previous committees and all the people I've worked with before. Some of them may not be, I don't know who is here today, but people like Vivek Madera, Robert Brown, and others who have not been around. And also I want a special word for John Haycock, member of our committee from University of Sheffield, who unfortunately has been very, very ill over the past period of time. So we've not really heard much from John, but I believe from Sarah that he's on the mend and he's feeling better. So just John, if you are listening or if you're out there, you see this, get well, keep getting well, mate, and hope to see you soon. So that's me done. My final duty, I will stop talking eventually, is to formally hand over the presidency of the Tissue and Cell Engineering Society to Professor Sarah Cartmel. I'm sure many of you know Sarah. She's been our secretary for some time, a member of the group for a long time. She's absolutely awesome. And I think she'll, develop the project she wants to do. She'll take the society in the direction she wants to take it, and I'll be there as immediate past president, probably just as a shoulder to cry on, probably more than anything, or to share anecdotes with. So, without further ado, Sarah, welcome to the presidency of the Tissue and Cell Engineering Society.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure and honour to take over the presidency of TCS. As Mark was saying, TCS began quite a while ago. It began in 1997, and I've been a member since I returned to the UK in 2001 after working as a postdoc at Georgia Tech. So I understand really well how important it is and how beneficial TCS is in providing a supportive and dissemination network to early career researchers. As Mark mentioned, I've been TCS secretary now, which actually used to include the membership secretary role that FLIS does now as well. I've been secretary since 2011, and I'm very much looking forward to taking over as president. TCS is in a really strong position with our excellent research and our international positioning. Over the years, I've seen many early career researchers mature and develop and begin their own laboratories, and often TCS is a really important contributor to this, where members are not only able to disseminate the research, but also build up collaborative contacts and gain an important network where advice is often sought and given. We also seek to financially support new collaborations and international dissemination of our members' research through our awards. And we also actively promote any relevant job vacancies for our members. So moving forward, we're going to see a growth in TCS membership as we're able to meet up more in person. And also we're going to review our overall TCS membership to ensure that geographical diversity is represented in our society. We're looking to review and renew our committee membership, so do keep an eye out for emails and websites for these opportunities. We're also wanting to become more inclusive with all of our members and are looking at ways to address this. Other priority areas include that the committee have already identified include interaction with clinicians and industry to improve employability and translation of the research that we're doing. And to facilitate this, we're looking at hosting workshops around mentoring, CV skills, sandpits with clinical industry, for example. Any other suggestions from any TCS members on what they would like to see would be very gratefully received. So please do send me an email about this if you want to speak a little bit more and give any suggestions. I'd like to thank Professor Mark Lewis, who's done such a fantastic job over the last 7 years as president. His input and leadership to TCS has been and will continue to be very important for all of us, and he's had great impact to TCS. I thank him so much for all of his years of hard work. I know Mark is going to remain connected very well with the TCS as past president, with the committee, but also interacting with the TCS as a society as a whole. And I very much look forward to continue working with him. Thank you also to all the support and hard work of our very active TCS committee. At this point, I'd like to thank the conference organising team at Edinburgh for this meeting we've been attending. There are more people to thank, I'm sure, but I know that Diane, Eddie, Katrina and Emily, who you guys might have not heard, but have been whispering in our ears all the way through to keep us on track. They've been absolutely brilliant, both prior to and during this meeting. Special thanks also go to Anthony Callanan, who has originally agreed to host this meeting in 2019 and has had unwavered enthusiasm in this from when we'd originally planned to do this meeting face-to-face in Edinburgh. It's a shame we're not there with you, Anthony, to the online version that we've been attending over the last 2 days. So thank you so much. It's been absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Finally, thank you to all of our presenters who've made our meeting this year so worthwhile, and of course our delegates for participating. We'll be in touch throughout the year with more TCS events and opportunities and plans for next year's meeting. But with that, I'd like to close our TCS conference of 2021. In the meantime, please do keep safe and keep well, and I'll hope to see you all again in person soon. Goodbye.